What's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another review, this time for Thunderbolts, which is out now as of May 2nd, 2025. It is rated PG-13 and has a runtime of 2 hours and 6 minutes. Now, I just want to let you guys know that all of my reviews are spoiler-free unless otherwise noted. So don't worry, anything I do reference will be in the trailer, which if you guys haven't seen the trailer, please click on it down in the description below before you watch my review. All right, so I wanted to preference this review by saying that I have had superhero fatigue for such a long time, even with the last, and especially since the last installment, Captain America: A Brave New World, which to me was just very lackluster and flat, and yeah, it had some action scenes, but the hype built around it was just not there for the outcome, the execution of the film.
There is no flavor. There are no spices. Where are the chips?
So when I saw that we had this Thunderbolt movie with a lot of like kind of side B anti-villain characters that I've seen throughout the years of Marvel, I was like, oh god, here comes a Marvel filler movie. And that's what we don't want. We want every Marvel movie to be a banger. So I'll be honest, when I did see that Rotten Tomatoes score, that high Rotten Tomatoes score, it did boost my spirits up just a little bit. And my initial thoughts just coming out of that theater were like, oh god, baby, we are back. Marvel is back, at least for 2025. We're kind of gearing back up. We had a slump. Now we're gearing back up. Hopefully Fantastic Four can really put it nail in the coffin for 2025, please. All right, so before I give you guys my spoiler-free thoughts, here's a quick synopsis about what this film's about. After finding themselves ensnared in a death trap, an unconventional team of anti-heroes must embark on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the darkest corners of their past. All right, so for me, one selling point of this movie was the actress Florence Pugh, who plays Yelena. She was in Black Widow. I thought that was actually a strong movie in the sense that it had a very dark, grim backstory. So if you guys have not seen Black Widow and are kind of like on the fence of Marvel movies, that's a pretty good start, at least for the recent films, because it's a little more in the vein of like John Wick and action, and it definitely deals more with female assassins, and I think if you guys are into action, you'll like it if you haven't seen it. But this movie does lead the charge with Yelena. We get to spend some time with her on some missions, and she's just not happy. She's just not fulfilled anymore with killing people. And I actually like seeing that flip of the coin. We get to see all the cool actiony stuff that makes us go, yeah, in the audience, but we never think about what happens when they clock out, so to speak, and we get to see that on screen. And it comes with desperation, despair, loneliness. You find yourself at the bottom of a bottle. It is a sad existence. And I think Florence Pugh nailed it perfectly. I felt the emotion in her face. She really sucked me into this character once again that I already loved from Black Widow. We're also accompanied by her dad, the Red Guardian, played by David Harbour, who is damn funny. This character is forever funny, man. Just please try to incorporate him into Marvel movies as much as you guys can. I know he's not, you know, he's got super strength, but he's got also like just super comedy in him. Also, another character that I really liked over the years was played by Hannah John Kamen, who plays Ava Starr, aka Ghost. Now, when I was introduced to her from Ant-Man and the Wasp, I really liked this villain. No one else really even seemed to talk about her when this movie came out. I thought she was very cool. She had a great backstory as far as like, you know, a dark backstory that you can kind of empathize for, which kind of turned her into this villainous character. So when I did see her on screen and we saw the, you know, CGI and the razzle dazzle of her effects and her fighting, I thought it was kind of cool. And I think if you guys are looking for more of a realistic, or, you know, like I said, it's superheroes, but it's also not. For the most part, a lot of them have super strength, and Ghost, like I just mentioned, she can just kind of disappear and go through things. So we're not dealing with any godlike characters like Thor or Ant-Man who can grow large or small, or an Incredible Hulk. You're not going to get any of that in a movie like this. And when you do, you see it from the villain. So I'm not going to dive too much into his character because it kind of is teetering on spoiler territory. I'll let you guys find out for yourself, but he was cool. And I'm glad they didn't actually reveal too much of this character. I think if you guys have read the comics, you guys kind of know everything about this character already. And that's fine. For someone like me that only watches the films, I was pleasantly surprised once again that Marvel did not spoil this character in the trailer, because we actually do spend a lot of time with him and we get to develop a little more backstory, actually a lot deeper of a backstory than I thought we were going to get into. And this leads me into the strongest point and the parts of the movie that I loved the most: the emotional, relatable depth of some of these situations, some of these characters, especially from Yelena and our villain. I'm just gonna say that, but it goes extremely deep, dark stuff. And I want to know who the writer is or whoever developed this script, because It tapped into a lot of emotions of mine. Once again, the relatability factor of us, we've been there before. Once again, they know they're expendables. They're not the Avengers. They're people that live a lonely existence. They even talk about not even caring to live anymore. So there are some parallels with this in real life, obviously, that some of you guys have gone into, that for me made this more than just a Marvel Studios project. And that's why I think a lot more people are gonna like this movie if they take a chance on it. You don't have to follow all of the other movies or shows before it. Yes, there are post-credit scenes that allude to other things that tie in with future movies, and that's fine. It doesn't matter because, like I said, I had superhero fatigue, so for the last few years I've kind of been tuned out of the shows and some of the movies, but that didn't slow down my excitement once Thunderbolts was on the screen. All in all, I really like these characters working together to kind of take down this foe. Once again, I'm not gonna explain too much who the foe is. There is actually multiple foes if you think about it. Once you see it, you'll know who I'm talking about. But I did like the way everything played out, like I had said. The score is fantastic as usual in Marvel fashion, so I got no gripes with that. And everything said, guys, I walked out of this movie pleasantly surprised. So all that being said, I think I'm gonna give Thunderbolts from 2025 a solid 4 out of 5. And I would definitely watch this movie again with someone that has not seen the film. All right, Flix Talkers, what did you think of Thunderbolts? If you guys have seen it, if you guys are planning to see it, please let me know. I do recommend you guys watch this on the biggest IMAX screen that you guys possibly can. Or if for whatever reason you guys can't do it and watch it on the couch, please watch it on the best TV possible with the loudest sound system blasting. Thanks so much for checking out the review, guys. Please hit that big thumbs up to support the channel. It does help immensely, and consider subscribing today for more. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm gone. Peace.